Darkwing Dub.
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's been good since the last time I spoke to y'all. It's your boy Darkwing Dub back for another episode of No Cap featuring your boy Darkwing Dub. I got a few things, or a couple things actually, that I wanted to get into. One thing I'm really experiencing right now, and one thing that's pretty important, right? It's something that I feel like needs to be talked about. Um, First and foremost, rest in peace to Rondale Moore. He was supposed to be the next big thing coming out of college, coming out of Purdue, especially after the game he had against Ohio State. I think that game is ultimately what helped him get drafted. But as we know, he was drafted in the first round by the Arizona Cardinals. Things didn't really pan out the way that any and everybody thought it would with him. But honestly, I can't really blame him though, because he was put in crappy situations. I mean, the Cardinals weren't any good. I mean, you in this season in Minnesota where they got two outstanding wide receivers and Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, and then you got a good tight end and TJ Hawkinson. So you're pretty much just there at that point, but we all know that he's suffered a lot of injuries too. And then to come to find out that he passed away on a self-inflicted gunshot wound, man. Like, what's killing me about all of this is that we are seeing this more and more lately within professional sports. And I think we, as people that are not in sports and professional sports, have to understand that these guys are human too, and females. They're human. I mean, whether if they, unalive themselves or they're doing something to try to better themselves, like at the end of the day, they're just like us. They just have more money, but they're human, right? I mean, you think about Brittany Griner, like everybody gave her such a hard time for being in Russia, but what she was ultimately trying to do was provide, play basketball, because the WNBA doesn't pay much. You know what I'm saying? The WNBA doesn't pay much. So a lot of these women had to go overseas after the WNBA season ended to make extra money, make ends meet. And then now you have Rondale Moore. We seen it years ago with Junior Seau. I mean, these guys and girls, they're not okay. They're not okay. And I think we, as the regular population, we tend to forget that they're people too. They're humans too. Like, we don't know what they're going through outside of the basketball court, the baseball field, the football field, or whatever sport they're in. We don't know what they're going through. Like, we don't know what Rondale Moore was going through. I mean, the only thing that we know is that he suffered through a lot of injuries. And maybe his stock didn't really pan out from where he got drafted at. I don't know. But you never know what's going on up here with somebody or here with somebody. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they're human. Just like nobody knows if I'm going through anything. We just forget that these guys and girls are human. And I think we need to take a step back as a society and realize, like, these are real people too. They go through things just like we do. Maybe not, as bad as we do. Like, some of us struggle financially. These guys and girls are not struggling financially. I understand that. But I mean, you don't know what's going on in their lives. I mean, are they going through a divorce? You know what I'm saying? Is a divorce that they lose somebody in their family, mom, dad, grandma, aunt, uncle, grandpa, somebody pass away that they're just so struggling with, or is there something on the inside that they just can't release? You know what I'm saying? So I think we have to, as a society, we have to step back some and realize that at the end of the day, these are real people. Um, his ex-coach from college, who's now the head coach at Louisville, Jeff Brom, he was a head coach in Purdue for Rondale Moore. Rondale was a complete joy to coach, the ultimate competitor that wouldn't back down from any challenge. Rondale had the work ethic unmatched by anyone, a great teammate that would come through in any situation. We all loved Rondale. We loved his smile, competitive edge that always wanted to please everyone he came in contact with. We offer our thoughts and prayers to Rondale and his family. We love him very much. Like, I mean, that tells me all I need to know right there. I mean, and if you look on X and Instagram and places like that, I mean, there are more and more people out there that are saying stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, he's human. And it's very important that we as a society have to understand that they go through stuff too. Like, yeah, we see them on a field or on a court playing or whatever the case may be, but when the pads and the jerseys and all that stuff come off, they have to go back to real life just like we do. We get to go on vacations, and when our vacation ends, what happens? We go back to real life. That's the same thing with them. They go back to real life. So we don't know what Rondale is going through. We don't know what any of these athletes are going through. Only thing that we can do as a society is step back and realize that they're people. They're not perfect. I mean, they may portray themselves to be. I hate to tell you, LeBron James ain't perfect. LeBron James ain't perfect. Michael Jordan, I think we just seen that. He ain't perfect. There's a lot of people that think that these people are perfect. They're not. Tom Brady's not perfect. His wife left him for a reason. He's not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. So they're human. I'm human. You're human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to feel a certain kind of way about stuff. And I think it's our job as a society to just remember that. Remember that. I've been personally involved in stuff like this before where my mother attempted to do that after my stepfather passed away. She wasn't okay. But the thing is, she refused to get help. She was forced to go get help. She was forced to go get help by me, my sister, and her sisters. We forced her to go get help. I've been through it myself. I've had to seek help many a times. I spent 3 days in a mental hospital once before. I'm human. I'm not perfect. I see a therapist, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I see a therapist. There are certain things that I've gone through in my childhood that I wish would go away. Nothing crazy, but like one of the big things, and I'm not afraid to tell you guys, I'm an open book. I grew up without my father, and of course, there's a lot of women and men out there. I'm 40 years old, and that still bothers me. But there's a lot of people that grew up without their mother or their father or both. And everybody deals with things differently. And for the longest time, I had put it away. I had put it behind me, like whatever. I don't need this dude, but it still bothers me. So I go see a therapist. And I will say this, man. Listen, help is always available. If you're feeling like you want to do something to yourself like that, 988, please, 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 please seek help. Somebody is always there to help. They'll get you in contact with somebody that can get you the help that you need. 988. I've used it. I know plenty of people that use it. These people are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Somebody is there to help you. Do not be afraid to ask for help. Help is always there. I beg of you, please, if you're feeling some kind of way about yourself, there's help there. And if you don't want to listen, y'all don't know me, I don't know you. But if there's one thing I do know for sure, I am here to help you too. If you feel like you need help, you can find me on all the social medias down there. DM me, right? Instagram, Darkwing Dub. The logo that's down here in that corner, that's the logo you'll see. That's me. DM me. TikTok, same thing. DM me. I mean, I don't give out I try not to give out my personal name. Um, but I mean, shoot me a comment on YouTube saying Darkwing, Dub, whatever. Man, I need some help. I need some help figuring some stuff out, man. I'll reach back out to you and help you as much as I can. You know, um, we don't want to lose people like that. You know, I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to get help. I think we lose sight in this country, especially today when everybody thinks they're an alpha or a beta, or whatever the case may be, because of the orange man in office thinks that he's an alpha. So everybody that acts and thinks like him, they're alpha, and nobody, that shit really don't matter. None of that shit matters. Alpha, beta, Charlie, whatever, man. None of that shit matters, right? At the end of the day, you are human. I am human. I'm an alpha male. Why do I feel like I'm an alpha male? Because I'm not afraid to ask for help. I'm not afraid to put myself out there. That is the definition of an alpha male. So, if you feel like you need help, please, please, please reach out to me. Call, text, whatever, 988. They can get you the help that you need. A lot of companies have resources for that kind of stuff, that they have phone numbers that they provide that you can call and you can speak to a counselor. I know my job does that. Speak with your jobs. I mean, just do whatever it takes to get the help that you need. Just don't unalive yourself. You're leaving behind so many people that love and care about you. Just get the help. I'm going to pivot to something else that's also been bothering me. And I'm just now feeling the effects of this because my son is playing sports, but Lord have mercy. Like, why is youth sports so greedy? Bruh. Like, all right, I get it. You got to buy equipment. But when I was a kid playing sports, I played for the school that I went to. I grew up in Lawton, Oklahoma. I went to Elmore West Elementary School. They provided the jerseys, they provided the gym to practice in, they provided the basketballs. Only thing that my mother had to buy was shoes and socks. Everything else was provided. These days, we ain't got that luxury. I just spent me and my wife just spent $100 on a baseball jersey. I spent another $50 on a bat that I got off of Facebook Marketplace. I spent another $50 on a youth baseball glove because it's T-ball. We're having to splurge out all this money for batting tees and nets and stuff to hit into, throw into, so he can learn how to throw properly. And then if he's really into it, like he's showing to be, then we're gonna have to pay for club ball. You're gonna have to pay for pitching lessons, throwing lessons, batting lessons. Like, I don't understand how people make it playing with kids in sports these days. My daughter goes to the local middle school, and I had to shell out almost $200 so She's a wrestler for the middle school, and I had to shell out almost $200 just to get her a singlet and warm up gear. And on top of that, I had to buy the wrestling shoes, had to buy the earmuffs. Like, this shit is expensive, man. Don't understand why it's so expensive. And then you got these people that get on TV or do podcasts or whatever the case may be, and they'll say, "Well, there's not enough kids playing sports these days." I wonder why. Because now she wants to do club wrestling, and that's 150, $200 a month, bruh, just for club wrestling. And you almost have to do a club wrestling just to get noticed by smaller schools. Shit ain't right, man. It is not right how whew, um but yeah, it's crazy. Like, you got registration fees. So you're paying the initial fee just to join a team. I think I paid $100 just so my son could join the local t-ball team, and then I have to pay the money for my daughter to play and to do middle school wrestling, and then you have to pay for the jerseys, and then you got to pay for equipment, and it's a lot. It's a lot. And if you notice that there's certain sports where you don't see a lot of African American men or women playing. And it's mainly men these days because it's baseball. You've seen a decline in African American in baseball because it's so expensive. Like, um, my wife has a friend that she works with, and they have openly admitted to her that they've gone broke a few times just trying to get their son through school baseball and club baseball, pitching lessons and batting lessons, and they've gone broke. They've remortgaged their house and going to get loans just to put him through all these lessons. It's wild. It is wild how this happens. Like, and then they wonder why so few kids each and every year are getting into these sports. Baseball is so expensive. Cheerleading is so expensive. Pom is expensive. Hockey is expensive. The reason why you see more black kids in basketball and football is that it's not as expensive. Now, I get it. AAU and basketball can get expensive. Travel ball can be expensive, but the initial startup is not. Buy a good pair of Jordans and some socks, and that can last you a season or two. Whereas baseball, like, you if you want to be good or halfway decent, you gotta keep up with the other kids. And I mean, one of the coaches was telling me, come coach pitch in the next season or two, um, you're gonna see kids out there with three, four, $500 bats alone. Coach pitch, coach pitch. That's the coach throwing the ball to you. I mean, my son asked me for $150 bat, and I'm like, bruh, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. We'll go with the marketplace. And mind you, it's a good bat that I found on marketplace too. For those of you got kids in sports, check out Facebook Marketplace. You can find some good stuff, some stuff in good shape at that. This bat was in almost had never been used. That's what it looked like. But their son used it for one season, decided he didn't want to play baseball no more. They put it on marketplace. I actually talked them down from 75 to 50. You know what I'm saying? So it can be done. If they want to get rid of it, they'll take whatever they can get. So for those of you that got kids into sports, check out Facebook Marketplace for some of the gear, especially baseball. You can find some good stuff on there. Now, I'm not saying go get cleats and shoes and socks and stuff like that. Now, you want to get that stuff new, but like stuff like gloves, bats, that kind of stuff, Marketplace. Especially for young kids, because they just gonna grow out of it anyway. Then you can resell and get some of your money back to go towards the new stuff. right? But all in all, it's just like it's becoming way too expensive for people to play sports. And I wish there was something that could be done to drop these prices, because that's why we have that's why it's cheaper. That's why you see in the late Major League Baseball a lot of Latin America coming up here playing baseball, because they don't have to pay the money here to play baseball. They get taught down there in their home country, whether it's Mexico, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Venezuela, wherever. They get taught the proper way. Japan, the Japanese are coming over here. Koreans, they get taught the proper way over in their home country. Then they can come over here and make millions. What is Shohei Ohtani making? That's all I'm saying. So you're seeing less and less African Americans playing sports like baseball, and they're going to places like basketball and football because it's cheaper. I personally I like baseball, so it doesn't bother me to do it for my son. I just wish it wasn't so expensive. I think greed has gotten in the way of actual sports, and I'm thankful for the coaches that are out there, including my son's two coaches that are patient with the kids and take the time and want to teach the kids the proper way, because without them, youth sports is dead. So to all you coaches out there that love to take the time and teach the kids the proper way, shout out to y'all, man, because without you guys, youth sports is dead. Um again, everybody, I want to implore y'all, if you're feeling some kind of way mentally, go seek help. I can help you. 988. Remember, 988. They can help you. They will help you. See if your job offers some kind of resources. But that's all for No Cap for today. And until next time, your boy Darkwing Dub is out.